Part 1. Nathan. Chapter 1. Barrow's Homestead, near Gainesville, Texas, 1900. On the day Nathan Holloway's life changed forever, his morning began like any other. Zach, the German shepherd he'd rescued and raised from a pup, licked a warm tongue over his face. Nathan wiped at the wet wake-up call and pushed him away. "Ah, Zach," he said, but in a whisper so as not to awaken his younger brother, sleeping in his own bed across the room. Sunrise was still an hour away, and the room was dark and cold. Nathan shivered in his night shift. He had left his underwear, shirt, and trousers on a nearby chair for quiet and easy slipping into, as he did every night before climbing into bed. Randolph still had another hour's sleep coming to him, and there would be hell to pay if Nathan disturbed his brother. Socks and boots in hand, and with the dog following, Nathan let himself out into the hall and sat on a bench to pull them on. The smell of bacon and onions frying drifted up from the kitchen. Nothing better for breakfast than bacon and onions on a cold morning with a day of work ahead, Nathan thought. Zach, attentive to his master's every move and thought, wagged his tail in agreement. Nathan chuckled softly and gave the animal's neck a quick, rough rub. There would be potatoes and hot biscuits with butter and jam, too. His mother was at the stove, turning bacon. She was already dressed, hair in its neat bun, a fresh apron around her trim form. "Good morning, Mother," Nathan said sleepily, passing by her to hurry outdoors to the privy. Except for his sister, the princess, even in winter, the menfolks were discouraged from using the chamber pot in the morning. They had to head to the outhouse. Afterward, Nathan would wash in the mudroom off the kitchen where it was warm and the water was still hot in the pitcher. "Did you wake your brother?" his mother said without turning around. "No, ma'am, he's still sleeping." "He's got that big test today. You better not have awakened him." "No, ma'am." "Dad about?" "He's seeing to more firewood." As Nathan quickly buttoned into his jacket, his father came into the back door with an armload of the sawtooth oak they'd cut and stacked high in the fall. "Morning, son. Sleep all right?" "Yes, sir." "Good boy. Full day ahead?" "Yes, sir." It was their usual exchange. All days were full since Nathan had completed his schooling 2 years ago. A Saturday of chores awaited him every weekday. Not that he minded. He liked farm work. Being outside, alone most days, just him and the sky and the land and the animals. Nathan took the lit lantern his father handed him and picked up a much-washed flour sack containing a milk bucket and towel. Zach followed him to the outhouse and did his business in the dark perimeter of the woods, while Nathan did his. Then Nathan and the dog went to the barn to attend to his before-breakfast chores, the light from the lantern leading the way. Daisy, the cow, mooed an agitated greeting from her stall. "Hey, old girl," Nathan said. "We'll have you taken care of in a minute." Before grabbing a stool and opening the stall gate, Nathan shone the light around the barn to make sure no unwanted visitor had taken shelter during the cold March night. It was not unheard of to find a vagrant in the hayloft or, in warmer weather, to discover a snake curled in a corner. Once a hostile, wounded fox had taken refuge in the tool shed. Satisfied that none had invaded, Nathan hung up the lantern and opened the stall gate. Daisy ambled out and went directly to her feed trough, where she would eat her breakfast while Nathan milked. He first brushed the cow's sides of hair and dirt that might fall into the milk, then removed the bucket from the sack and began to clean her teats with the towel. Finally, he stuck the bucket under the cow's bulging udder. Zach sitting expectantly beside him, alert for the first squirt of warm milk to relieve the cow's discomfort. Daisy allowed only Nathan to milk her. She refused to cooperate with any other member of the family. Nathan would press his hand to her right flank, and the cow would obligingly move her leg back for him to set to his task. With his father and siblings, she'd keep her feet planted, and one of them would have to force her leg back while she bawled and trembled and wagged.